You've probably heard the advice, just stay motivated. But what if motivation doesn't show up when you need it most? Here's a shocking fact. Studies show that 70% of people who start a new project give up within the first 2 months. The problem isn't a lack of desire, it's that motivation isn't something you can rely on. It's fleeting and unpredictable. What if I told you that there's a way to push through even when motivation feels impossible? What if you could tap into a hidden source of drive that works even on your toughest days? In this video, I'll share powerful strategies that real entrepreneurs use to keep going, even when they feel stuck. Forget waiting for inspiration to strike. Instead, I'll show you how to create your own motivation, make failure your best teacher, and turn pressure into productivity. These are the secrets that the most successful entrepreneurs don't talk about enough, until now. Keep watching, and get ready to change the way you work. Chapter 1. The Power of Starting Small. Why the first step is the hardest, but the most important. Starting a business is daunting, no matter how big or small. The first step is often the hardest. Most entrepreneurs face something called analysis paralysis, where they overthink everything and end up stuck. A study by the University of Scranton found that 92% of New Year's resolutions fail, mostly because people set unrealistic goals right off the bat. The trick? Start small. Break your big goals into tiny, manageable tasks. You don't need to launch a full-fledged product on day one. Just ask Jeff Bezos. He started Amazon in a garage selling books online. Today, Amazon is a global empire. If he'd waited for the perfect moment, who knows where we'd be? Another example is Tim Ferriss, author of The 4-Hour Workweek. He talks about testing ideas before going all in. The key to success isn't making grand plans, it's testing and iterating quickly. Start with a basic prototype, see how the market responds, and adjust from there. You might fail along the way, but that's okay. Failure teaches you what doesn't work, which brings you one step closer to what will. Starting small also allows you to learn and improve in real time. Think of every mistake as a lesson. Whether it's your website's design or your pricing structure, you can tweak things without risking everything. It's about creating momentum, not perfection. In fact, research from the Harvard Business Review shows that people who focus on small, consistent progress are more successful than those who aim for huge breakthroughs all at once. Small wins build confidence and set the stage for bigger ones. Chapter 2. Hack Your Brain. How to create motivation from within. Motivation isn't something you can summon out of thin air, it's something you need to cultivate daily. According to psychologist Shawn Achor, people who practice gratitude are 25% happier and more productive than those who don't. Why? Because focusing on positive thoughts rewires your brain for success. Instead of waiting for motivation to hit, create it yourself. Start by setting a daily routine. Many top entrepreneurs, like Elon Musk, swear by the power of structure. Musk breaks his day into 5-minute blocks to maximize productivity. Even if your schedule isn't as tight as his, having a set routine trains your brain to perform at a high level every day. Studies show that habits form after 21 days, so stick to your new routine long enough to see results. Another way to hack your motivation is by visualizing success. This isn't just about imagining your dream business, it's about creating a vivid picture of what you'll feel and experience when you succeed. Tony Robbins, a well-known motivational speaker, says that visualizing success can activate the same part of your brain as actually achieving it. So, when you're feeling unmotivated, close your eyes and picture your future success. Finally, create an accountability system. Share your goals with someone who will check in regularly. Accountability is like a safety net, it pushes you to show up, even when motivation fades. This works because humans are naturally social creatures, and we tend to stick to commitments when others are involved. Chapter 3. The Magic of Consistency. Why showing up is 90% of success. You don't have to be the most talented person in the room to succeed as an entrepreneur. The secret often lies in something far more important: consistency. Legendary business owner Warren Buffett once said, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient." In entrepreneurship, consistency often beats brilliance. Consider James Clear's book Atomic Habits, where he outlines how small habits compound over time. A 1% improvement every day will result in a massive transformation over a year. That's why showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, is so crucial. Successful entrepreneurs don't take breaks just because things get tough, they keep working at it, one day at a time. Take Sara Blakely, the founder of Spanx, as an example. She didn't create $1 billion business overnight. She spent years developing prototypes, meeting with manufacturers, and facing countless rejections. What kept her going? Consistency. Each small step forward built on the last. Research also backs this up. The University of California found that consistent effort leads to greater achievement in almost any field. So, don't worry if your progress feels slow. What matters is that you keep pushing forward, even on days when the results aren't visible. The magic of consistency is that over time, the effort you put in multiplies. Make sure to hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss the next game-changing strategies that could transform your entrepreneurial journey. Chapter 4. Fail fast, fail forward. Embrace your entrepreneurial mistakes. Failure is inevitable. In fact, it's often necessary. Entrepreneurs who embrace failure as part of the journey are more likely to succeed than those who avoid it at all costs. Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin Group, says, "You don't learn to walk by following rules. You learn by doing, and by falling over." Think of Thomas Edison. It took him over 1,000 tries to invent the light bulb. Imagine if he'd given up after the first 100 attempts. Each failure taught him something new about how to make it work. That's the mindset every entrepreneur should have, failing fast and using the lessons learned to move forward. Another example is Elon Musk, who lost millions on early ventures like Zip2 and X.com before finding success with PayPal, Tesla, and SpaceX. If he hadn't failed in those earlier projects, he wouldn't have had the experience or resilience needed to create his later successes. So, don't fear mistakes. Use them as fuel to push forward. A report from McKinsey & Company shows that organizations that embrace failure and learn from it are more innovative and perform better in the long run. In entrepreneurship, you can't afford to avoid failure. It's often the stepping stone to bigger and better ideas. Chapter 5. Fueling passion. When motivation runs dry, rediscover your why. Motivation can't always be relied upon to push you through tough times. That's when reconnecting with your core purpose, the why, is essential. According to Simon Sinek, the author of Start With Why, knowing your why gives you the clarity to move forward even when things feel uncertain. Ask yourself, why did you start this journey? Was it to change the world? To build a legacy? To create freedom for your family? Knowing your why will give you the strength to keep going when motivation falters. Steve Jobs once said, "The only way to do great work is to love what you do." Passion can reignite your energy, even during the toughest times. When you're stuck, remember why you started. Think back to the excitement you felt in the beginning and let that drive you forward. Keeping a journal to track your why can also help. When you're low on energy, read through your notes. Reflect on your vision, and remember what you're working toward. It's like refueling your passion. Chapter 6. Turning pressure into productivity. The secret to thriving under stress. Stress isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it can be a powerful motivator. Studies show that moderate stress can actually improve performance by increasing focus and mental clarity. But how can you turn pressure into productivity? First, try to reframe how you view stress. Instead of seeing it as a burden, consider it a challenge. Kelly McGonigal, a health psychologist, writes in her book The Upside of Stress that how we perceive stress greatly impacts how it affects us. If you see stress as a sign that you care, it can motivate you to work harder and smarter. Time management is also key. Entrepreneurs often work under tight deadlines and heavy workloads. The trick is to break tasks into smaller chunks. This method, known as time blocking, can help you prioritize tasks without feeling overwhelmed. Remember, stress doesn't have to be your enemy. With the right mindset and strategies, it can push you to reach new levels of productivity. So, next time you're under pressure, embrace it as an opportunity to shine. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more tips and tricks that could change the way you work. Let's keep going and make your entrepreneurial dreams a reality. By implementing these strategies, you can overcome lack of motivation, stay on course, and succeed in your entrepreneurial journey. The key is simple. Start small, stay consistent, embrace failure, rediscover your purpose, and turn stress into fuel.